You're tuning into the Black Fire Radio.
And it is one the Pan-African Police Show every Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. The Pan-African Police Show. Let's go.
Yes, my thing, boy. And the Robinson Jamaican brother there. Reaching out to all the massive on the African continent. Tuning into the Black African Police Show. From Monday to Friday. Stay tuned.
Ona kule tumetoka, mbona sasa mwasema umechoka? Ama shamba katanuka, kati ya lisheho. Chukotana kumbuka tukianza vile ulimi hadi tutapenda na forever. Nasani kwa kiluka niweka chini kaka za jamii sasa mwamuka. Kifira ni kama tena umechuchina. How could you not get enough shaka la wimba na feel city feel city Mwanzo tulikuwa kwa ghorofa, kaporomoka, nayo kanibalichoma, ukujua jua pamoja. Nilimpea kila kitu, nikampenda kila siku, sheri, kageuka mkamilifu, swali zangu hawesijibu, kibisila. I'm tonight, me too, tonight. I'm champagne with my. See your city, see you making way. See your city, see your city, see your city, see your city, see you making way. See your city, see your city.
Yes, good afternoon, family. Karibuni sana to another episode of the Wednesday lockdown session right here on the Blackwood Furniture Radio Station. Hope you guys are doing amazing. And of course, good afternoon, good morning, whatever the time is on your end. It is exactly 49 minutes past 12 p.m. right here in Kenya. I don't know what's the time on your end, but I want to give a big, quick shout out to Dr. Thank you so much for tapping the screen. I really appreciate Dr. Kibet. Shout out to you also, Kenzie. Shout out to you, User99, and to everyone who is with me right here on the TikTok page and also on Facebook, on radio station, on YouTube, both channels, and of course, live with us on Rumble. Karibuni sana once again, and of course, I hope you tune in till the end of the show as you're diving into today's conversation. Our major focus shall be going to the International Court of Justice, which we saw last week, South Africa coming out and, of course, accusing that is Israel of the genocide that was committed in South Africa years ago. And of course, we'll be talking about this. And I see that there are actually some more other 5 countries that have come forth and are backing up this particular motion that South Africa is pushing. And of course, I'll be reading down the article as we get to what that particular information. I see we have Turkey, we have Malaysia, and of course, a couple of other countries that are supporting whatever South Africa did, or rather the case they filed against Israel. And we shall also be out when in Kenya. Yesterday, I had a very amazing conversation into religion, and I gave a very good example where we saw last year at the beginning, rather in the mid of the year, we discovered that there was a massive genocide that was committed right here, where we had a number of people's body, found in a forest, which the government ended up claiming. And of course, body organs were missing. But while we heard from our president again, was the I'm just sorry, I'm sorry, and nothing else was made or rather cleared about that. I don't know many of you have seen that this week we've had the documentary of TB Joshua all the way from Nigeria. I know majority of us, especially from the continent, know him. Of course, he died. That was in 2021 due to known circumstances that I don't want to know actually too. But yeah, this guy we discovered yesterday due to the documentary that was released by BBC that he was not only just a liar, trying to lie to people, even including white people, that is performing miracles, but he also went ahead and raped women, tortured them, and a lot of things, and made money out of all this debaucherous behavior. So that is our focus of the day. I want to talk about also the DRC Congo election. Of course, I see that despite the oppositions who went against the results of an election, and of course taking the in this case, still it has not really served them. The same thing that happened in Kenya when you had Raila Odinga filing a case against what happened in terms of elections. So I want to talk about that, a few matters of it, and also what is happening in Liberia and Niger. So karibuni sana once again. I see John Mosquito in the building. Good morning to you too. And I also see you saying that was what? Was it on YouTube, on BBC? Yeah, it was on BBC. Yes, I check it out. I did share the previous link that I was sharing the video yesterday. I shared on yesterday's show, but you can go to BBC and check out because there are 3 episodes where we have first the explanation of how he began his ministry, convincing people, selling out the VHC videos, and also ending up even inviting or rather attracting white people, and which I find very funny. Trust me, I really find it very funny. I don't understand how you bring up a weapon and this weapon can end up being used against you, but it is very clear and understood that we also have white people are so much indoctrinated into religion. But story for another day. We'll be talking about that, but I began with an amazing song, one of my best from Watinda Willie, Sio Siri, and of course being a Wednesday, I'm dedicating this to all the ladies, Manze, and of course I'll be getting back to one more jam, Still By Them. This is still February, and of course, you deserve to be loved every single day, not just on Valentine's, not just when it's on special occasions, not when you're having or an anniversary or special occasions. Literally, you're supposed to be loved every single day. So enjoy this. I'll be coming back with the quote of the day. Shout out to you, Brian. Karibu sana. Let me know where you're listening to me from. Yes, and my quote of the day today is a blessed Wednesday, no matter where you are in life. If you let love and kindness be your guide, you'll always find a way. Spreading positivity all the way, and of course, gratitude, and I hope you feel blessed. Shout out to you, Larry. Shout out to Mark. Yeah, it's a chill kind of Wednesday. I don't know how you're feeling, but for me, I feel chill. Very. Shout out to Brian. This is the Wednesday lockdown session once again. In case this is your first time right here, kindly rush to the website in case you want to stream with us live on our radio station. That is on the www.blackoutfirenetwork.com. Our app shall be restored back very soon on the Google Play Store, and of course, you'll continue enjoying our services. Big up to you, Ben. Shout out to Joshua Nandi. Shout out to Elena. Shout out to CR7. Yes, and of course, welcome back once again. This is the Wednesday lockdown session, and I go by the name JOBY. And of course, it is exactly 57 minutes past 12 p.m., 3 minutes to 1 p.m. I don't know what's the time on your end, but karibu sana. In case you are on Facebook, I see Joe Mosquito. I see a couple of people also right here with us from YouTube, and also those who are with me on the radio station. I'm on the show page. Remember to pin your comments via the page right there on the chat page. But karibuni sana, big up to Meno. Wow. Karibu sana. Shout out to Alex Kenya. I hope you're also doing amazing. And to everyone who shall catch this also on Spotify and on BitChute and Rumble. Like I said, today we shall be talking about the International Court of Justice, which is supposed to come forth and listen to the case that was filed by South Africa against Israel. But starting forth, I want to start with something very interesting. And this is actually very, very sad at this time, and I want to educate our African people, because there's something when we talk about, rather when we speak about dangerous it is when you go to these Arabic countries, where we need to be very, very careful, rather where we need to literally be able to unite and seek revolution right here back in the continent, because our leaders have failed to manifest, or rather to give us anything that they have said in their manifestos. These are one of the examples I want to give right here. These are a short video that I want to share, which is coming from CNN, which actually showcase where there is still slavery in Libya, there's still slavery in the United Arab, this in the Arabic countries, sex slavery, and African maids being locked. Of course, we've discussed this a couple of times, and raped, passports being stolen, organ trafficking, and where we also have Ghanaians and Nigerian brothers, sisters who have been telling this kind of story. So I'll be sharing this, and one of them says so many people want to get mad when I say this is a throwback to the Arab trafficking of Africans that started in the 6th century, and it's still going on today. Just get mad at me, no accountability. That is one of the comments we had there. But let me share this very quickly as you get to give your review about this. But this, for me, my lesson on this and why I'm sharing is where Africans, we need to be woke and understand where we're running to. We're not wanted. As much as our presidents, our leaders are literally taking us there, like perfect example what Malawi president did, Chakwera, taking the that was 5,000 Malawians to Israel farm. And of course we also had our very dear own president saying that he's also supposed to take a million. Yeah, that was Demori reporting that 1 million people to I don't know which Arabic country to seek greener pastures. It's so crazy, but let me share this of these people's experience. We
know that some people are being sold.
Yes.
Some people are being sold. Is this something
nations are doing right now? Because if your president is taking you on a den of lions, I mean, what is that? That is basically you being sold out and your life being sold to someone else.
Merciless beat. Look at most of people here. If you check their body, you see the man get beat. So the money was not even much.
Other migrants now start to come forward with their stories.
They took people to work by force. Even when we are at the seaside, Walking the walk, they'll be beating you when you are walking.
It's the culture shock for me that they have, because they're really shocked from even the way they are expressing the trauma they went through when they were passing maybe through the Arabic border, they're going to Arabic countries rather when they're going. We've seen so many migrants, going all the way from different African countries to Italy, or rather trying to get to Europe. So for me, what I'm trying to literally get, what I got from this video, shout out to you, DJ Invisible, thank you so much for tapping the screen, is that Africans get a lot of culture shock, rather they are really traumatized, or they don't literally believe it when we go to these countries and get this kind of treatment, which is just the reality because we're not taught. The fact that the notion of these people coming here as missionaries, they came to help, it's all a lie. And I'll be sharing another video towards the end of the show as a closing video, since today it's a Wednesday lockdown session. This is super, super crazy. And this is why we need our African people being educated, because the shock, you can just see it even from their faces. They're really shocked because of the experiences, or rather how Arabic people are in terms of them being humans.
You walk, I'm doing your work. They'll be maltreating us. Higher.
But I promise you, I will take care of your husband and the others.
Anissa Azabi is the supervisor here. With no international support, it's his job to look after the captured migrants until they can be deported. He says every day brings fresh heartbreak.
He's just a teenager. This is so sad. Where is a teenager going to?
Suffering for them. I am suffering for them. What I have seen here daily, believe me, make me really feel pain for them. They come and every story is a special case.
We know that
This is super, super crazy. So I wanted to share that very quickly, because majority of the stories we're about to talk about here again is because of poor leadership, as always, which we keep on discussing every single day. This is slavery, and it is so sad to say it is very active in Libya. Of course, in the Arabic countries, I'm not surprised. I'm not even shocked a bit. And I'm also surprised about Libya, because mind you, majority of the people who are in Libya are not even Africans. And the Africans who are there are living a very devastating life. It is super, super crazy, but I had to share that. And what I'm trying to literally pass through this, rather the message I'm trying to pass through this video, is that it's a high time for us Africans to open our eyes and understand that where we're going is a lion of den. Stick back right here at home, fight for your rights, because that is what is right. Stop being scared of these leaders who have literally sold out fear towards us, and they don't do anything but just pocket money. Highly taxed, but you don't see any development in your country. So it's a high time for us as Africans to understand that this is a trap. This is how the system has been set up, so that majority of the Africans can continue being depopulated, because that's another form. That's another method. Where we have in organ trafficking still going on and very active. And where it is said that the Arabic countries are the number one leaders in this, is super, super crazy. But be very conscious, and of course be very careful. Educate your family and friends of what is happening outside there, and let them be aware of what is happening. But of course, straight to the matters of the day that I wanted to talk about, starting with DRC Congo. And of course, on 20th of December, we had elections being held. That was in DRC Congo. And of course, Felix Tshisekedi was among the oppositions, the presidential candidates, that were vying for another presidential seat. Still, after him failing and not doing anything for the people, he won the election. And I see that apparently, despite the other candidates, opposing the results, how they came out saying that they were rigged and all that, he has still been declared the victory, or rather the winner of this particular, system that has been set up. So they're saying that the Constitutional Court in the Democratic Republic of Congo has rejected 2 challenges to the results of last month's contested presidential election. And the court said incumbent President Felix Tshisekedi has indeed, or rather had indeed, received 73% of the votes. The validation comes despite independent observers reporting widespread irregularities during 20th of December vote, and the poll was marred by several logistic problems with which the opposition allegedly alleged were part of deliberate plan to rig the results in favor of Mr. Sikedi, and only one opposition candidate out of 18 took the matter to the court. Others, including the runner-up Moise Katumbi, refused to mount a legal challenge after questioning the independence of the judiciary. So that is what is happening. I'll just read it up to there. And of course, you know, WhatsApp. Like I said, personally, my own review, I feel like this is about to be another Uganda and another Rwanda. And we know that these two countries, they're the same countries being used to literally make the situation of DRC Congo to be worse. And we're talking about Kagame and Museveni, who I'm about to talk about as well. Shout out to Museveni, man. I love this guy for free. Being honest, just for free. I give him my love for free. Just for free. It's just super crazy, man. But yeah, so personally, I feel like what is happening in DRC Congo might be another form of dictatorship that is being planted right here. Because I don't see why the people, of which we know it's not the people, who selected him, if you want to follow up, maybe deeply go investigating and interviewing a couple of people who had registered, rather who voted, you'll find the majority maybe voted for other candidates, because it was very evident. People understand that how the leadership has been set with the videos I've shared a couple weeks ago, that was last year. You know, they understand that nothing has ever changed. They have had Sikedi for 5 years, nothing has changed. The UN troops been there trying to maintain peace, nothing has changed. So what is happening? So I just hope at the end of the day, this year is going to be a year of which people, we're not going to take things to the road, but as a continent where we need to connect the dots. This should be very simple. We need to connect the dots, especially the fact that TikTok is giving us so much information that we won't get on the mainstream media. We should be able to connect the dots, understand how politics is working in the continent. This is us as Africans, not just DRC. We need to understand what is happening, how Kenya is working. If you see an information coming from Kenya, understand the same thing is happening in Uganda, in DRC Congo, in Malawi. We're being forced to accept the same laws which don't favor us. So who is to question, or who is the problem right here? Shout out to you, Frida. Karibu sana, nice to see you today. Hope you are doing great. But that is my thoughts regarding this particular, information coming from DRC Congo. Moving forth, I want to talk about Museveni, like I said, and this is super, super crazy. First and foremost, I've seen that I didn't know they still actually have the VACCINEs in their countries, and I see that they're actually getting rid of the expired, the VACCINEs, which are worth $7 million US dollars. And I bet that Uganda is going to be paying this money in the same currency. And at the state of which they are, I wonder where they're going to get the money. There's no development in the country. There's no economic growth in the country. People are talking about poverty all the time in Uganda. And now you're getting rid of things that you took that never even helped you. I don't want to talk about the VACCINE a lot because we know that YouTube is on our radar. So that's all I'm going to say. Uganda, you're going to pay for this money because you know every country that took this 19 motion that was happening in 2019 and 2020, you're all going to pay for it. It was not being offered because your countries are supposed to be helped, because all this was just a lie at the end of the day. So that is what is happening. Now, yesterday or that, I think this was this week, I did also talk about still under Uganda, where we had AGOA coming out and, of course, again, withdrawing or sanctioning Uganda because of the anti-gay law bill. And Museveni, that was last year. This happened actually in May. And he came out and said that, he spoke something positive. And, of course, we gave him a round of applause. After 2 days, again, he came out with something negative, him begging, for President Joe Biden to take him back in the AGOA, that is the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act, Trade Pact, which is crazy. So this week, I think it was this week or the beginning of the year, I did report where, again, the US did withdraw Uganda, remove Uganda from AGOA, but Museveni, again, is back at it. And I tell you, I love Museveni for free. I give this man my love for free. He says, the thing that the Ugandan president, Yoweri Museveni, it just makes my day. Uganda President Yoweri Museveni has said that external attempts to pressure his country, okay? The external attempts to pressure his country are fertile, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. And more than a week after Uganda was expelled from a major U.S. Africa trade program, the U.S. first threatened the sanction of Uganda and expelled it from Africa Growth and Opportunity Act, which is a AGOA trade pact, in May, after the East Africa country passed a controversial anti-homosexuality law. The law places a death penalty on certain same-sex acts. For now, those who put pressure on us, this is what I quote what he says. For now, those who put pressure on us, they're wasting their time. And we don't have to worry about, they don't have to, and we don't have to worry ourselves about that. That is President Yoweri Museveni giving this national address on Tuesday. Speaking out since the first time of the explosion, rather the sanction took place. What we should concentrate on is to fight corruption among ourselves. That is so funny, trust me. That is what Museveni is saying. What we should concentrate on is to fight corruption among ourselves. These are the real problems, not foreign pressure, because that one has no meaning. Mr. Museveni also said that Uganda will trade with the international partners that respect it. I mean, Uganda also doubled down on its punitive anti-homosexuality law that was last August, when the World Bank halted funding to the country, and the bank said that the law contradicts the organization value. So that is what is happening in Uganda today. So we have them destroying the VACCINEs of the COVID-19, which, you know, they are going to pay so hard for it. But this man, this man, despite all this, because he's going to pay for all that. And this is going to cause a major effect, because we read of where after, if it happens that Uganda is going to be withdrawn from AGOA, so many jobs are going to be lost. 72% of the jobs are going to be lost. That is in Uganda, because majority of the people depend on this in terms of their income. So what I'm trying to get from here is, we know how corrupt Uganda is. Him speaking about dealing with the corruption, that is a joke. Let's not even talk about it. You are corrupt for first being under leadership, rather being a leader for the last 40 years. For the last 40 years, that is corruption of the highest level. So let's talk about that. Are you going to address that, or are you still going to vie for another presidential seat? He says again that those who put pressure on us, they are wasting their time. We should not worry about ourselves. Should not worry about ourselves on how this is going to take effect. But what about the lives of those who depend on this job? Because for you, you are okay. And this is what I was saying yesterday when it comes to this, to our nations, to African countries, and these leaders who are selected. And this is why they make any type of speech anyhow, because they don't even have an agenda for the country. That is number one. They make any kind of speeches because they do not have any agenda to make or develop the country. I think we're clear till there. That is just the fact. Museveni, and that's what I was trying to give an example with yesterday, Nigeria, them coming after still the same country, on them giving fake degrees. And I said, what should take place is that we should actually have a very good plan when it comes to, if I'm going to address the nation, I should have a backup plan on how this is going to take effect to my people. If I'm going to be, I know that the laws I'm going to, when Uganda was passing this harsh homosexuality law, they should have checked on how, because we saw also last week that some people were, there was a man who was stabbed very bad because of him being an activist against homosexuality, and I discussed on it. When Museveni announced this, there's a lot he knew that was going to be affected in his country, because there's so many deals African countries have signed with these international countries that don't help us, you know, or international partners that do not even help us, who are here in terms of cooperating, they say. When he passed this law, he knew very clearly, very well, that his country was going to be affected in various ways, and his people are going to be affected. But what is the backup plan that he has when this happens? Nothing. Literally. How is he going to provide job opportunities, which he has never created for the last 40 years, for the people who are going to be affected after the Africa Growth Opportunity is withdrawn from Uganda, which has already happened? It has taken effect. So that is my question. And I don't know about you guys right here on TikTok, because I see we have one dread, Karibu Sana. I also see Kit in the building, Karibu Sana. Thank you so much for tapping the screen. I also see we have Health and Wellness Africa. Wow, okay. We got wellness today right here on the Black Hot Fire Network. You can also tune in. But nice to see you. And of course, Karibu Sana. That is what is happening in Uganda. So personally, I'm laughing about this because tomorrow I'm not going to be surprised if I read something positive or negative of him speaking about, if he's going to come out and say that, oh, Uganda needs this. We cannot do without the international partners. We need to cooperate. They just need to be fair and all that. I'm not going to be shocked because Museveni is that guy who always makes speeches anytime and anyhow he wants. Karibu sana, Kid.
Asante sana. Good
How are you
afternoon,
doing?
Joby.
Good morning to you and good afternoon.
I'm up.
Okay. Karibu
I
sana. We're talking
replied.
about Uganda. We're talking about Uganda, where we have the first case of them dismissing the VSCCINE, which are expired, and they are worth $7 million. And I'm saying that I know the country is going to face a massive economic collapse when it comes to paying back.
That's because no African country stands on its own because they're forced. It's funny, and Museveni being an old-time moron, he's a moron at birth. He's an absolute idiot. I deal that I'm paying somebody for some vaccines that they forced them on African people. African people are now allowed to make their own because of the IMF and the World Bank. The cats with the small hats don't want to. They want them to pay for this shit. Which doesn't make any sense. If you're an adult, you're supposed to be able to supply your own things for your own people. Not going out and have somebody else supply you. They're talking about you got to pay for it. I'm not paying for your shit. I'll create my own as an adult, as a free country, supposedly helping my people. I would develop my own, not to get it from you. I don't know what the hell's in this shit, whether you're good or not. And I'm not going to that because we already know. Hey, my God, we already know. But since these morons don't care about African people, they don't give a shit. That's why you see all of them buying the shit, forced on them, and said, hey, for all these years you've been giving us you know what, and it's been doing you know what. So, 70's been there 40 talking about some corruption. This dude's the most corrupt, most moronic, most idiotic president. I think one of the most idiotic in prison might be Tinubu since he knew, but you know when you're looking at an idiot. Let's do a thing of comparison and contrast, or contrast and comparison. Let's look at an Ibrahim Traoré and a Museveni and put them side by side. That who actually looks like a damn president, sounds like one, with strength and power and concern for African people, and which one sounds like an absolute moron?
Museveni sounds like a moron. No, I really love this guy for it just makes my day.
So you have to understand that's what the Europeans want. You must understand the Europeans stay hyper vigilant in African America to make sure a leader doesn't come to power. They will be able to lead African people out of poverty and despair. They're hyper vigilant. And they try to squash anything. Like Ibrahim probably snuck through because he overthrew John McAfee, snuck in. He was voted like, oh, no. They stay hyper vigilant to make sure there's bad leadership in Africa. That's like I told Demore, that's the law against averages. If anybody does anything when you call something called statistics, the average of things.
It's crazy how we Africans don't even recognize when these people are making all these false speeches, because I feel like they're always trying to make people believe that we are in check of what is happening in the country, because this is I think the fifth or the third time we're talking about AGOA withdrawing or sanctioning Uganda because of the bill they passed about homosexuality. The first time Museveni came out, he spoke and said,
why can't they do that with the Arabs? Arabs said no to homosexuality. Why can't All because the Arabs have developed actual jobs, that have developed shit that these bumbling ass Negroes have never done. Even though the Arabs may be stealing from their country, they also invest back in themselves because they love themselves and their people.
Yeah.
See, in Africa, you got self-hate and greed and morons who don't love. The question is, what are any of these African puppets built? Nothing. Before they became a puppet and president, what are they built outside being a president? Absolutely nothing. What did Kenyatta, what did the Kenyatta family build before the British put them on? Absolutely nothing. They were impoverished. Jomo was impoverished. He didn't come from money. They gave him money so he could be their puppet. So you can't show me one thing any African leaders ever built. Nothing. So the idea they become president, they can build an economy is laughable. They've never built, just like me and Demore were talking about Kenya and all these taxes now. These morons are stopping Kenya from being an economic power by stifling with all these taxes. You can't build wealth through taxation. But these morons know that. They're not worried about that. They're trying to cover the debt that they stolen. And so they're going to plunge the country into more debt. You know all these. Go ahead, Joe.
And the few that they have built, because we were checking, it's been kind of crazy lately. The Nairobi weather, it's been cold, it's been hot, it's been raining. It's just confusing. We don't understand what's really happening. But it's been also flooding with a few, when it's raining, especially in the parts of the Nairobi city, like the roads are really flooding to the point where cars are being carried away, and a lot is really happening. So if you check out even the construction of what they have really built, to speak of what they claim they have built, what they say they have built, it is all under debt. It is all poorly constructed and all under debt. And the worst part of it is, they don't even have a structure on how they pay the debts. This is how we find that was, I think, Demore again reporting on how Kenya spent a lot of money paying debt that they don't even know where the money went to or who it even went to. Also, that was in 2021.
You're talking about being ruled by morons. Explain this, Joe. You're talking about being ruled by morons. Hold on, keep it up. Explain this to me, Joe. Explain this to me. Now, you're coming to me for a loan, Joby, because you want to develop your country. Okay, let's say you're stupid enough to do that, but you don't need to. You're African, you really don't need to do that, but you do it because you're a moron. So you come to me, tell me, Keith, I need money to develop my country. So the deal I make to you, because I know you're stupid, I know you're an idiot, and I know you're corrupt. I know you're a thief. We're going to keep on. I know all African leaders are thieves. These are facts. So it's not like me
and I know you're going to sell out those people.
Yeah,
I know you're gonna sell out to people.
Exactly. I know you're a thief. Most of the money you're gonna steal. So I'm gonna tell you, and now I want my people now immigrating to Africa without no problem. Because in my mind, I'm gonna eventually take over the shit. I want to take over the fucking place. So you come to me. I need a loan for development. I say, okay, I'm gonna get the vote. I'm gonna give you a high interest. Of course, I'm saying, okay, listen here. First of all, when you don't pay back the debt, I want something in your country, something of value. Okay, sure. I said, first of all, I don't trust you or your people. So the money I'm going to give you, it's going to employ my people to build your infrastructure.
Yep.
If you would come and say, why would I do this? Then I'm paying you back the loan. I'm not even getting no loan then. Because the scam is, I'm paying you to come build the shit. So the money never leaves your pocket. It never leaves your pocket. So because a loan is supposed to take the loan to take your people and employ them. Have them build your infrastructure. Because that teaches them engineering. Put your engineers to work and your people to work. Develop in their own country.
Yeah.
So I come to you, I ain't giving you no money. I'm hiring my own people. People don't give a shit about your people. And don't tell me you don't know this. I know you're an idiot, but you know they don't give a shit about you. In fact, they hate your black ass.
They
But they're gonna build shabby shit, and it's gonna be overpriced. I'm gonna charge you because I know you're an idiot. Because you're not worried about building. You're worried about what you can steal from it. So I'm gonna build you some shabby shit. Say, oh, look at the shabby shit I built, and I'm gonna give you old technology. Since you don't have shit, it's new to you. It's old to the rest of the world, but your people don't know because you're educated. Oh, we gotta trade. Yeah, we gotta trade. Your people too stupid to know that's 40-year-old technology that's outdated, and that you paid 3 times the price for the shit. They don't know.
Let me show you there. I don't know. Have you seen the Tanzania new railway? You remember that was Magufuli. He had a project that
I showed
it was supposed
that
to.
they paid for. I showed you that. And show it. Yeah, I showed you that. That's 5 times cheaper than that bullshit Kenya got, and it's old technology. Because it's a hustle. These morons don't care. As long as they get their little grab for them and their families. They don't. We're talking about nationality, where you care about your people and the country. These people in Africa don't care nothing about the people. They don't care nothing about Africa. That's why they like President Putin said. These morons gonna spend all their money in Europe. Their bank accounts in Europe. We know the Uhuru's family bank accounts are in Europe or in the Caribbean islands. They don't build shit. They buy houses and shit in Europe and America. They go to hospital outside the country because they ain't built decent hospitals. So how can you develop, like you said, a graveyard when nobody gives a shit about their own people? You can't.
It's impossible. Let me show. This is beautiful. I saw this was being shared. It was shared. I think last week or 2 weeks ago on one of our sites right here in 254, and I went through the comments. People are just startled. Like, people are really phased because of the structure that Tanzania has, and this is just they called it the record of it has broken the record of railway line in Africa. Actually, the Tanzanian
That's what happens when you're not a corrupt government. That's what happens when you actually develop. But now, too bad they got that corrupt rod in there. She's gonna fuck up everything because she's a puppet. That's why they killed them and put her ass in power. This is what you can do when you're not corrupt and you actually care about your people. You're not stealing from them. You take that money and you make real infrastructure. The Chinese aren't the ones that built that. Got that? It was the Tanzanians along, I think, with the Turkish. The Turks got that contract. But the Tanzanians are the ones building it. Okay? It might be a Turkish company, but Magufuli says you got to hire my people if you want the contract. That's what any country would do. Think you don't come in, I'm paying you to build some shit, and my people don't know? This is how you make jobs the next time your people now have knowledge to build it on their own. Now they can build it on their own. They don't need Turkey no more. That's what you would do.
Let me try. My internet is good. Can you see my screen on StreamYard?
Yeah, I see it. I see it, Joe. I see you going to the videos. I see it. Yeah. And now, how do you explain this thing is 10 times cheaper than the bullshit Kenya got? 10 times cheaper and up to date. Because it's not done
it's crazy because
corrupt really bad. Go ahead, Joe.
I remember, I think it was Spikes reporting this in 2021 when we had, I think, 1 billion or 1 million, a couple of billions of dollars that was given to a non-person, and this was the money that was supposed to go back to paying the debt we have
Tanzania Railways Corporation
backwards and fucked up railway station. That is what is happening. But let me share this very quickly. They don't even have an organization on how we're gonna pay the loans. It's crazy. Shout out to you, Tori. Thank you so much for following the host. Shout out to Samson as well. Thank you for following the host. I also see you got J.R. Nelson. That is Junior Nelson. Karibu sana. Nice to see you back here.
Gauge Railway Phase 1 will begin operations at the end of this month. According to Director General Masenya Katagosa, The project is nearly complete, with the Morogoro-Dodoma stretch reaching 82.2% completion, though the deadline is set for December 2022. Mr. Katagosa refrained from giving details about the first phase's operations. According to Mr. Katagosa, the Tanzanian government has allocated $261 million out of a total of $1.9 billion for the construction of the three.
My screen is hanging. I don't know why. Keith, can you see?
Yes, I see it.
Okay, let me
I
see.
see it.
All
I see
right.
it, Joby. You know, it's that bad
Tanzania
internet.
Railways Corporation has announced that the Dar es Salaam Morogoro Standard Gauge Railway Phase 1 will begin operations at the end of this month. According to Director General Masenya Katagosa, the project is nearly complete, with the Morogoro-Dodoma stretch reaching.
You mean tell me it's completed on time and in budget?
0.2%. The deadline is set for December. Details about the first phase's operations, which are expected to use electric trains, albeit Turkish contractor Merkezi.
Oh, Turkey, exactly, Turkey. They use Turkey
to lay the groundwork.
But the labor was African, so they can learn how to develop the shit themselves. But like Kenya, you got the Chinese in there build the shit. They don't teach you nothing. You as an African, you don't know that the shit they build is even fucked up. You don't even know. That's why your shit gonna be all raggedy, bro. You're gonna be paying for shit that's all tore up in 5 or 6 years. But we gotta rebuild it. You don't got nobody knows how to rebuild the shit. You'll go back to the Chinese, get some more loan money with some more raggedy shit to be built. This shit crazy.
Didn't you see Kenya? Didn't you see Kenya? This is the express road, the new, very highly dated road, has been ranked amongst the best in East Africa. That is our very, and it has no drainage. When it is raining, this road is very flooded. You know, you wonder how is it
because they're gonna say that because East Africa, Africa is underdeveloped, Joey. So yeah, if I put up any garbage thing, it's gonna be the best because Africa's underdeveloped. You know, so of course it's gonna be the best. Because there's not a bunch of roadways in Africa like that, especially in East Africa. So it's gonna be the best just by default because there are no other ones. You know, not that it's good, it's just that it's the best because you don't got none of that shit like in South Sudan, Ethiopia, fucking Somalia, damn, Uganda, shit like that. Congo, you don't got no shit like that. Kenya does. So, this is the best road in Kenya because it's the only one, Joby. It doesn't mean it's good. It's okay.
Yeah, I get it.
According to Mr. Katagosa, the TAN did $161 million of it, $9 billion for the construction of the 368 kilometers.
See, that's why pause there for a second. See, Africa's so underdeveloped. Most Africa's so underdeveloped, it's crazy. That's why you have the crazy South Africans trying to brag. We don't look like the rest of Africa. Blah, blah. We don't look like the rest of Africa. So you got the South Africans always trying to brag to the rest of Africa, even though they're sitting in poverty in South Africa. But their country is developed. Because the black, not Northern Africa with the white people, that's developed. Black Africa is so overwhelmingly underdeveloped, it's crazy. It's crazy. You see it when Katie and Shamani step out and walk around, you're like, God damn. This shit's so crazy looking and underdeveloped. You're like, wow. It's 2024. And this is what Africa looks like, the regular part. This shit like some shit 300 years ago. You're like, it's and it was kept that way on purpose, so everybody can steal
True.
from Africa.
Purpose. And
Yeah.
And this is what I was saying, them keeping this on purpose, because I began with a very crazy video I was sharing where we have African people coming from different parts of the continent expressing they have this shock of how they are treated by Arabs, you know, by the Libyans. These people, they're like, you know, these people are beating us, they're stamping our feet.
I missed it. I was still asleep. See, and that's what I'm talking about. That these despots ain't even told them who their enemies are. The Arab Africans have always been your immortal enemy. You got morons taking their religion, that Muslim shit, and you got the other Africans taking that Christian shit on. When both of these people have been your immortal enemies for hundreds of years, thousands of years, these people have been your enemy. But you're raised in such a way that you never taught nothing. You're morons. You leave Africa, I find the greener pastures. I think people like me. And you get there, these people can't stand your black ass. They hate African people. And then you're shocked. It just shocks the whole soul. You're like, what? What? Because you was never raised to even know that you got enemies.
They were really traumatized. Because I was saying, when you speak of Africa being kept like this being a plan of, especially the poverty porn, it's all on purpose, and it is so sad and worse. Why? Where now we're seeing the Malawian president, the Kenyan president, taking young people to look for greener pastures in these places, and not letting them know, especially of the hatred that black people face right now.
They don't know the history.
Due to the fact we still have this mentality of these people came here as missionaries and they came to help us. We think if they go there, they're going to receive us the same way. They're going to help us. They're going to...
They believe that mission. They believe that lie. That mission exactly. They believe, because that was some video you did like last year. Some guy, hey, we were talking about missionaries. That's all a lie. I think it was Nigerian. You show. I'm like, yeah, dummy. Yeah, your history that the white man came to help you is a lie. Why would they come to help rich people? They came to help you out of your shit. You went from poor and knowledgeable to now stupid and impoverished. That's how they helped you. That's how they helped you. You went from the smartest continent to the dumbest. You went from the smartest and the richest continent on the planet to the dumbest and the poorest people, not continent, people. So yeah, they gave a lot of help. Ain't it funny? It's so much help they gave you that all your shit sits up in their museums. Whether it's England, France, Germany, Spain, Portugal, Italy. All your shit sits up in their museums and they tell you to suck it, Negro, without giving your shit back.
And they're making money off you. They're making money off you still. They're
making billions of dollars every year, Joby.
From you,
you don't go get to see that shit for free. You gotta pay money to go see that shit.
I'm saying it is so crazy. They stole this from us, but when we go there to tour these places, we have to pay to see our own shit. This is so
How about that? It is crazy. But they came to help you, Joby. They came to help you, poor bastard.
We're talking about psychopaths. These are psychopaths. Right now, if you don't understand white people, man, it's crazy. God damn.
And through these two to bring in the Democratic Republic of Congo as part of the East African Railway Master Plan.
This is what we have in Kenya today.
I know, shit like that. Shit that's 100 years old.
Is being implemented in 5 phases. Dar es Salaam Morogoro section being the first. This 300-kilometer section awarded to a 50-50 consortium composed of Yapi Merkezi of Turkey and Moda Injil of Portugal. Construction began in April 2017, with Yapi Merkezi documenting the progress with monthly video reports on YouTube. Tanzania's government secured a $1.46 billion soft loan from Standard Chartered Bank to fund phases 1 and 2, totaling 550 kilometers. As of December 2021, work progress had reached 95%, with projections indicating that the first trials would begin in April 2022. Dar es Salaam, Pugu, Soka, Ruvu, and Geringer and Morogoro are served by 6 stations, with 3 trains running daily round trips. The Api Merkazi and Moda Injo Consortium was also awarded the contract for the construction of the second phase of the standard gauge railway, which runs from Morogoro to Dodoma, and then to Makutapura and Singida. Following Morogoro, the stations will be Mkata, Kilasa, Kaidit, Golwi, Eganda, Dodoma, Bahai, and Makutapura. As of February 2022, 81% of the work in this section had been completed.
That's why I try to explain to you Negroes, Africa is where you're going to make your millions. Africa's underdeveloped. It needs everything, family. Africa needs everything. It is 200 years underdeveloped. It needs everything. So you're going to make your money in Africa because it needs everything. It needs everything. There you go.
A region through Tabora to Osaka. This section divided into 2 lots, one from Makutapura to Tabora, and the other from to Osaka. In December 2021, Tanzania Railways Administration signed a deal with the Api Merkazi holding a for the construction of the 3rd phase of the Tanzania Railway project, worth nearly $2 billion. According to the agreement, the Turkish group company will be in charge of building a 358-kilometer single-track railway line and 7 stations between the cities of Makutapura and Tabora, electrification systems. The 4th phase, measuring approximately 341 kilometers, connects the SGR line to the city of Mwanza on Lake Victoria's southern shores. The government approved a $160.5 million in budget for the 340-kilometer standard gauge railway between Osaka and Mwanza. President Suluhu Hassan requested the Tanzania Railways Corporation boss Masanya Katagosa to properly supervise the integration of the ongoing railway projects.
See, and this how far you fallen. You built pyramids 7,000 years ago, really older than that, later than that. You built pyramids that they can't build today. You were engineering giants. Now you can't build your own damn railway without white people help the Turks in 2024. You were master builders thousands of years ago. Now you can't build shit. You understand how far you fallen as African people? That's what we're talking about. But since you got Turkey doing it, the knowledge that's learned, now you're supposed to have your own companies doing it yourself now. You're not supposed to have outside people building your shit. Now it's got to be you building your own stuff. That's why you got colleges in Africa that have degrees for real engineering. Now they got to be a real engineer. It can't be corrupt with somebody paying for a damn diploma who don't know how to build shit. Got to be a real diploma. Can't be. I bought this diploma. I'm an engineer.
So we can see that in Tanzania, for them, they spent only $2 billion, and for Kenya, they spent $3.6 billion on a building that they're saying that the most expensive infrastructure project, the most expensive infrastructure project.
And it's old. And it's not even new tech, and the shit is old, outdated. So it has to be tore up. So it's what they call a boondoggle. It's what they call. Why would you build it? The technology is old.
We had in May, that was in 2023 last year. Around May, we had also the government saying that they are coming up with a plan of building $15 billion plan. They are planning to expand the Kenya SGR to Kisumu, and this is a budget of $15 billion. That is their budget. 15
billion. And look, and that's well, what would take 15 billion, family? Go from Nairobi to Kisumu, where you see, it took $3 billion to go farther than that from Dar es Salaam all the way over almost to the Ugandan border. But just from Nairobi to Kisumu, they want 15 billion, which is three. What is that? But 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. That's goddamn like shit. That's like 8 times the cost because they're gonna steal it. It's gonna be some old shit because they know that people are not. The majority of Kenyans are uneducated. They don't know that train. They ride at some old shit. It takes 7 hours to get from Nairobi to fucking Mombasa. Like, what kind of train is that? They like all day to just go from Nairobi to Mombasa. Like, what?
I should have just taken a bus. Taking a train then. I should have just taken a bus.
Look at this train. We got a train. Hey,
oh, no.
Let me tell you something, moron. You have a train that's outdated. That's from 1960 technology, 1970 at the best. Your train is laughable. But the youth that you're underdeveloped, it's new to you, but actually it's a disservice to you. If you're going to build shit, build some updated shit that puts you in the century that you live in. Not back in the 20th century. You're in the 21st century. Don't build some shit that takes you back 50 years when I wasn't born yet. Yay! And I think, don't the Chinese still work on that train, Joby? I never wrote it.
I'm not sure.
The last time I heard, the Chinese employed their own people because they said the Kenyans were too stupid to operate the train. I'm like, God damn. You pay for a train.
Let me see.
Yeah, look, you pay for a train and the Chinese are one. This don't even make any, you know how bad, how nonsensical. You pay for a train and the Chinese are the ones that employed and running the damn train. What? Oh my, you can't make this. They do the Chinese operate the Kenyan train line.
Yeah, that was yeah. Okay, so this was a news release that was on. Let me check the detail on 28. That was in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, so they say that the Chinese are to work at Kenya standard. Let me read that. Yeah, the standard gauge railway will have Chinese workers until 2027, when local staff are expected to take over. The government has given the information, and the transport ministry has defended.
God. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine this craziness? Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
Yeah. The transport ministry has defended the 1.7 billion Kenyan shillings a month cost of running SGR and has assured Kenyans that the line is making profit and will by 2020 pay back its loan, which we haven't, which is a lie. So
because it's always a lie, Joe. They're always gonna tell you a lie because it's corrupt. The fact is, you paid for a damn train that's all outdated, and then you're paying the taxpayers' money to hire Chinese people to run this shit. You can't even make nothing. You know how crazy this sounds? You paid for the loan. You got to pay back that loan. Then you're paying Chinese people to run the shit. Damn! You're talking about you're talking about as backwards and as fucked up as it gets. You're talking about how can anybody take Africans seriously on the world stage? The leaders are all morons. They're just criminal. What that job we just showed is criminal. I'm paying you for a loan, and then I'm hiring your people with the same loan money to run this shit. So my people don't even get employment fucking with this shit. Our people don't get employed.
It's crazy because I see under that we had someone who called this as racism, where we have Chinese being favored in every sector of Kenya, but not Kenyans. You know. So as I read this article, I see that there's someone who called this.
Yes, it is racism. See, because your people. Let me ask that question. Understand? Your leaders are raised under colonialism with self-hate, so they hate themselves. So they hate African people. They don't even feel like They know they're stealing from you, but they don't feel that you can even deliver, even though you got colleges in Kenya. They don't feel like the engineers can actually build shit. That's why they don't even employ you, right? And so that every African country, just not just Kenya. I know you've never been throughout Africa. Whoever said that? That's not just Kenya. All Africans have put Chinese ahead of them. Ghana, Nigeria, no matter wherever you find yourself at, it's the same situation because you have been destroyed mentally. You've been colonized. You have self-hate, and it runs deep. That's what I told you. You get rid of these goofy borders because mentally you're all the same. You're broken as a people. That's why you got Chinese running all around Ghana, ruling shit, Kenya, Nigeria, everywhere. Zimbabwe. You're like, oh, it's the Chinese man, the Chinese man. I don't know the Chinese man. So that's what you do. Instead of,
He's such a shame.
Why are you going to college in Kenya, getting an engineering degree, but you don't never build shit there? It's a useless degree.
It's crazy, and our school fees is super expensive. You know, it is crazy out there. Made school fees so expensive, but they won't even grant you this job opportunities. No. It's so sad.
And I'm gonna tell you, the engineering degree when you leave in Kenya, ain't nobody gonna give you no job outside of Kenya with your engineering degree. They're gonna say, "Are you crazy? Where did this shit come from? Kenya? Nah.
You ain't got no skills. You ain't got no skills. Get out of here. You know?
Exactly. Your Kenyan degree won't get you that's the engineering degree. Come out of Kenya is not getting you no engineering job nowhere on the planet at all. They're gonna look at it and throw it in the garbage. Then you better go to school in America or Europe and repay some money. You know, but that Kenyan, Nigerian, Ghanaian degree, you might as well just rip that shit up and throw it in the trash. We don't even validate that shit. You might as well use it as toilet paper and wipe your ass with it. Because we don't validate. That's right. We don't validate that shit. No, at all. Because you don't even build, because your own country doesn't validate it. So why the hell would I be in another country validating your license when your own country doesn't use you to build shit?
Impossible. But anyway, as we move on to the major focus of the day, which I wanted us to talk about.
Let me say something quick before you leave. Let me say a shout out to General Mosquito. General Mosquito, you're corrupt ass country. You're corrupt ass president. You got Professor Lumumba from Kenya over in Ghana right now. You got Sister Arikana, the old African ambassador to the AU. She's there. Some other guy from Nigeria who really run that Nigerian election. They're all in Ghana. Talking about how all these leaders are corrupt and bad and got to be gotten rid of. So they were going to have a function in Ghana, but the president came from the president himself, said, no, you're not going to allow to have no function here at all. Like, what? So they shut it down, General Mosquito. I'm going to have Joey look that up after she does what she shows. So how Sister Arikana, Professor Lumumba, and this other guy who really won the election in Nigeria, all in Ghana right now, trying to get the youth together. And the president in Kofi Dudu said, not my country, niggas. No, you don't. He said no. He said no.
He knows what's happening. He knows what's up. He knows what's happening.
Of course.
But as we talk about the International Court of Justice, of course, we saw last week, South Africa did file a case against Israel. And we saw that the US came out and said that these are all merits. South Africa case should be dismissed. That was last week as well. But now I see that it has been pushed forward and the case is supposed to be heard. I think that is this week. So they're saying that the South Africa genocide case against Israel will be heard by the International Court of Justice this week, where we have 22,835 Palestinians who have been killed in Gaza in the last 3 months. Pretoria claims a bloodshed puts Israel in breach of the Genocide Convention and accuses Tel
Genocide.
Aviv of trying to bring about the destruction of substantial part of the Palestinian nation, racial and ethnic group. An initial 2-day hearing at the Hague-based court will begin on Thursday, 11th of January, which is tomorrow. Although the court does not have power to prosecute, South Africa wants it to issue a legally binding interim order forcing Israel to suspect its military action against Gaza.
It can't prosecute white people, but it prosecutes every African puppet that gets out of line. Then it can prosecute. Only people that ever been prosecuted by that court was African despots. That's it. And it's in Europe, not in Africa, but they've never prosecuted any European. Only African. You get it? You get out of con work and say, oh, we've got no way to prosecute. They know these are war crimes, but we've got no prosecutorial power to do anything in Israel. Okay, then we want to put it on the books at least. Call it a goddamn war crime. We want it on the books that these people are committing genocide. Well, we want a genocide. But these people, they own all the banks. They own the bank.
Yeah.
Why don't governments own these banks? Why don't the government? How is it that these people own all the fucking banks on the goddamn planet? What kind of scam is this? Huh?
Who is this? Who are they?
What kind of scam is this? It can never be prosecuted. Everybody's scared about the fake money that they're not gonna get. So they can kill people like they've been doing in Africa. And let me tell you something. The United States, you've been caught up with Congo. You finally, enough people on that TikTok and know that it was Israel talking that dumb shit. Oh, we believe in African people. Yeah, Benjamin, that the other. We said we're gonna come to Africa and free the African people. How? Well, you're the ones enslaving them. You're the ones created apartheid South Africa. You cats with the small hat. You run it. But now they've been called out finally again. And the U.S. is saying, we're going to stop Kagame from going into the Congo because now people know what's going on. They know you and Israel have backed Kagame, no good ass. Kagame's supposed to be in the Hague right now as a war criminal. Him and Museveni both. The only reason why you haven't took these Negroes up there because they're doing your business. If they get out of line, you've already told them, niggas, you guys are going to the Hague.
I feel like they might, at the end of the day or at the end of all this, them being used because that's what the West do. And it's so crazy when these puppets think that they are so important. Well, they're just puppets who are being used, and the next day you're gonna be thrown in the dustbin just like any other African person. So what I feel like will happen is that right now it's been 20 years of them being used, and maybe a couple of more because the seat Skedi has also been returned on the seat and all that, which it's all about what it is all about. I feel like they might face a trial the same way we had.
Check this out. No, put this in your lexicon of understanding, yo. Remember this? What I'm saying. I'm about to go to a bad area, so I'm gonna lose them. Say it quick. When white supremacy is done with its tools, okay, because their tools are white supremacy. White supremacy, white supremacy is done with its tools, it breaks its tools.
Yep.
But white supremacy is done using you, done with its tools, they break them so you can't come back and harm white supremacy. So you're right. When I'm done with you, I'm going to break your back. So you can't come up and say, oh, I was funded by these people. No, you're going to the Hague, nigga, and you're going to get locked up for war crime. That's what they do.
They might face a trial and they might be found, of course, innocent or guilty. It depends on how the West will work.
Nah, Joby, if they go to the Hague, they're going to be guilty. That's why they've been set up. When white supremacy is done with its tools, Joby, they break them. Only reason why they would be sent to the criminal court now at all this time is because white supremacy is planning to break their ass and get rid of them.
But I see on top of this, we have 5 countries that have actually also tagged along in supporting South Africa's case. And I see currently we have 5 countries among which Organization of Islamic Cooperation, along that is with Jordan, we have Turkey, Malaysia, have openly expressed their support for the case, while only Israel and the United States have opposed it. South Africa filed a complaint that was towards the end of December, alleging that Israel is committing genocide. And of course, where we've had 10,000 children who also died in this particular bombing and killings of the Palestinian people in Gaza. So it is super, super crazy. And of course, I'm here to report and keep you guys updated on how the case will go tomorrow. We'll be seeing what Israel has to say, what South Africa has to say, and of course, we'll be updating you on what is happening. But of course,
it's open genocide. Nothing to say. It's genocide, and it ain't funny. It's open genocide in your face. And who's stopping it? America, because America's a homicidal, genocidal, racist-ass country. And Israel controls America. Cats with small hats run this place. All our leaders are small hats. How is that possible? All the leaders in America are small hats. That's a fact. Or run by small hats. That's a fact. Not my fact. You can look at it. You can look all that up. But so they commit open genocide like they do in the Congo, but the Congo wasn't getting no publicity. And it's the same 2 people doing it. America and Israel back in these death spots, Museveni and Kagame. You goddamn Angola, why did you break up your military? You only I think Angola's like the 5th largest military. Oh, this is a guy talking about the military in Africa. Kenya's like Tanzania's 10, Kenya's 9th, 7th is I don't consider these African countries. They're not African. Morocco, and some other shit. And number 6, number 5 is Angola. Angola used to be the strongest motherfucking army in Africa when you defeated South Africa. You were not supposed to dismantle that army. If anything, you were supposed to be the peacekeeping force in Africa. At that time, you were righteous and uncorrupt. You got rid of the Christian religion to get that shit out of here and get that Islamic shit out of here. But 30 years later, I think you got Christianity back in it because they always, white men never stop fucking with your mind. Because at that time, you said, this Christianity got to go. Get it out of here. And you did. The whole country, you got it out of there. See, that was the time you could go and tell Museveni and Kagame, you better get your ass out the Congo or we're going to break your goddamn back. You can still do it, but you don't got the cohesiveness you did 30 years ago when you were fighting a white man down in South Africa, whipping his ass. They wanted to make sure you wouldn't have that cohesiveness. But now you can stop the looting of the Congo. Because Angola and Congo, you're really one country. Only the white man made them borders. Because Angola, you're part of the Congo Empire. There was no fucking Angola. It was Congo. So we really got 3 Congos. We got Democratic Republic of Congo, we got Angola, and now we got the Republic of Congo, which really come out the old Congo Kingdom. But as Angola, you should have kept that fighting force together so you go break Kagame's goddamn back and Museveni and toss their ass out of power. Like you did in the early 90s when you went in there and told Kagame and Museveni, you better stop this shit. We're going to get rid of both you niggas. And they're like, okay.
I hope Africans are gonna be, fed up with all this backward leadership, and of course, we're gonna demand strong militaries and take back, or rather, over revolution. But before I wind up, let me share what you've requested that I see from the Tuna Cheki page. It's already been posted here, where Africa did react to the Pan-African Convention that was abruptly stopped by Ghana's government.
It's got a Pan-African Convention. They tell us the youth has got to be ready to put Africa back together. And Kobe Dada-Doodoo, as damn Mosquito Boy said, the hell you will. The hell you will. Go ahead, Joey.
Who's organizing it? Apparently, the spokesperson is this Belgium European influencer model reality TV star, right? So a person like that, a white European person telling me about my Pan-Africanism and how the Ghanaian people are suffering.
Is it the government or is it the people in charge? Is the leadership responsive at all? Isn't it time for change?
Why is some white person in there telling you about Africa? Because they know you Negroes' minds are fucked up and you worship this ugly looking white woman. They know that. They know what you do.
Your host, Mikey Moshi, and this is the show where we react to viral videos that concern the African continent. Before we start, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. So to make it quick, today's video, we're going to talk about the recent drama that has been happening in Ghana, where the Ghanaian government abruptly cancelled this huge Pan-African event that would have included Julius Malema from South Africa, Dr. Rikane from Zimbabwe, Peter Obi from Nigeria, and Professor Pilolo Lumumba from Kenya.
And Professor Lumumba from Kenya.
Pan-African,
huge
Pan-African
niggas, stop it!
Without warning,
stop
the
it!
Ghanaian government cancelled this event with no explanation, and we finally got
That's right.
the bottom of it, and we will tell you why the
You're breaking.
Ghanaian government did that, right? In case you don't know what you're talking about, just have a recap here.
Pan-African leader Julius Malema of South Africa, former Nigerian presidential candidate Peter Obi, and former permanent representative of the African Union to the United States, Dr. Arikana Chiomborikwa of Zimbabwe, were scheduled to speak at a highly anticipated Pan-African political event in Ghana on January 7, 2024. However, the event dubbed the convention was abruptly cancelled, sparking criticism and disappointment from attendees, dignitaries, and observers across Africa. What was this event about? Why has the Ghanaian government stopped it from happening as planned? And why are people criticizing the government of Ghana for the event?
Yeah. So that's the gist of what one and all Pan-Africanists are bashing the Ghanaian government on why they canceled this event, except us, Itunacheki, because we've kind of figured out why the Ghanaian government did this, right? Why it canceled the event. So we'll just give you a bit of recap why we think the Ghanaian government canceled this event, and it has to do with the organizers, right? So this event called as you can see, the conversation igniting the voices of Africa. It was sponsored, launched by NGO called the New Africa Foundation, right? Which is relatively extremely new, and in conjunction with another new political organization in Ghana called the Force Movement, right? Apparently, they were supposed to launch their leader during this event, and he was supposed to like hold the coattails. I don't know how that people say that saying. He was supposed to piggyback on the big names of Pilolo Lumumba, Dr. Rikana, Malema, and Peter Obi. So he establishes himself as a authority in Ghana youth movement, right? And we have a problem with that because these organizations are sketchy at best and suspicious at most, right? We've tried to do digging on them, and their funding is suspect. When they were founded, they are all recently founded. Who's organizing it? Apparently, the spokesperson is this Belgium European influencer model reality TV star, right? So a person like that, a white European person telling me about my Pan-Africanism and how the Ghanaian people are suffering. So there's a lot of disconnection in their communication and their branding, and it just looks too good.
Getting from here is that the organization that came up with this program in Ghana is very new, and it's funded there. Like he's saying, the funding is very sketchy, and it's been an NGO. Of course, you know what this is all about. We need to always go back to the background, and I love the way he's doing his research. You need to go back to the background of how this meeting came about, the organization, the fundings, and all that. And if that is the main reason maybe why Nana Akufo-Addo stopped this, then it's something that needs to be cautioned. We need to check who are literally educating us again about our history. We can't be having white people coming and telling us, oh, we know your leadership is poor and all that. This is because of you. This is because of you and your leaders back from where you're coming from. So let Africa solve its own problems. Let Africa form its own organization. Let us fund our own projects. We do not need you being and meddling in Africans' business. It's enough already. That's all we ask. You just leave. I don't understand why people always find a sketchy way of coming back to Africa and trying to make us believe, oh, we know we're supposed to understand. Okay, fine. But let us solve our own problems. It's good you're supportive of us and our motion, but you stay in your own lane. Let us deal with our own problems. Let us deal with our own problems. That is all we're going to ask. So if this is what is on about, personally, Kit, I also support Nana Akufo-Addo. If the organization that came up with this, you know, motion that is supposed to talk and educate the youth, and that they are using the voices of the Pan-African voices we have, then it is wrong. I would also say no. There's no you're going to come to my country. The people who are funding this, we don't even know them. It's a new organization. It's good, whatever you're trying to educate here, but let African be the one to do it. Let African people be the one organizing this, not the NGOs and all that. But those are my closing remarks. I've taken much time right here, but it's been an amazing conversation. And I see a couple of you joining right here on TikTok as I'm about to leave. Shout out to you, Turning Hearts. Shout out to Keith. I see you've switched on YouTube. Shout out to shout out to VDJ Knox. Shout out to Mr. EE. Karibu Sana. I see you. And to everyone who has been with me right here on TikTok today, I've had 257 people and, of course, 3 new followers. I appreciate that. And, of course, see you guys later on to Bonge Show. If you catch this on a replay, remember to subscribe in case you haven't subscribed. And in case you are new, Karibu Sana to the Blackout Financial Credit Station. Leave a comment below after, for what you think about these problems that are affecting African people and how we can literally apply a solution. Thank you to you also, Joe Mosquito, on Facebook. I appreciate you for tuning in. See you guys later again on the Tubonge Show.
Mwezi huu wa Februari, nitakukusi mwaka ujao, mwezi wa usijali, ila ukione